My name's Colin. I live in Bath in the southwest of England. This is my channel, the Yay, Nay or Meh channel, and this is another edition of This Charmed Man, a first time reaction series of videos to the TV series Charmed. And we have reached episode 12 of season 2. Actually, I think that means we're over halfway through. Yes, we have reached the halfway point of season 2, 22 episodes. So, yes, we're in the home straight and still no big bad, which I have been warned by my commenters that is not how Charmed did things, at least not for the first few seasons. So, more Monster of the Week episodes and more interactions with Piper and neighbour Dan.
Whoa.
And Prue and Jack, who's growing on me a little, and Phoebe and whoever the hell she's into this week. As long as she's getting some, I guess, but she hasn't actually. Well, we don't know about that Kevin guy from the end of the Cupid episode, but no, other than that, she hasn't really been getting any action. But anyway, that's kind of all there is to talk about is the romantic entanglements. And as I've repeatedly said on a lot of these videos, I'm just not that bothered about anything that's going on that front. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to see what monster of the week it is, what plot of the week it is, if I'm going to tick anything off my Charmed trope bingo card. A list of tropes and monsters which might show up in future episodes of Charmed, and also some characters which I think might show up in future episodes of Charmed. And we've ticked off one or two from those lists, but not as many as I thought I would. I mean, especially since we're now over halfway through we're starting the second half of the season. But yeah, not many have been ticked off, which is a little bit disappointing, but it is fun to speculate about what might be coming or what might be coming back, characters that might be coming back. Let's see if that happens in this episode, which is entitled Awakened. Okay, a pretty generic title. I mean, obviously the first thing that comes to my mind is some kind of antediluvian monstrosity from the mind of H.P. Lovecraft emerging after slumbering for millennia through the folly of mortal man. Yeah, something shall be awakened. Oh, maybe this is finally going to be the vampire episode. Could be. Meh. But yeah, pretty generic title, no clear clues as to what's happened, so let's see what awakened, or what awakened is, and what shall be awakened. Oh, she's sick. I mean, when somebody coughs on camera and they kept it in, it means something. She's ill.
Is that because I can work tonight?
Maybe fatally
I am now
ill.
Phoebe Hallowell, college student. Okay, neat thin slices, please.
College
Thank you, Harold.
student? That actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, yes, she's a slightly mature student, but yeah, I mean, she always seems to be the one who's always reading the Book of Shadows, is most concerned about the history.
Piper, you have got to take care of yourself. You've been feeling funky since yesterday. It's probably just a bug.
Yeah, in this show, it's not a bug. It's something supernatural. It's something mystical. And it's probably going to kill her.
What fruit is this anyway?
What is...
Kiwano. It's from South America. It's great for Mai Tais. Just got him in yesterday, actually.
Kiwano?
The bartender has a connection at the docks. Wait, you smuggled it in? Oh,
He's...
it's fruit, Phoebe, not drugs.
Okay, so but it's still illicit things that, yeah. Is this Quiano? Was there prickly pears? It looks like
Dr. Phoebe
They
Hallowell.
look citrusy,
I like it.
but with spines. So yeah, that's going to be relevant.
Whether we're human, vampire, whatever the hell you are, my brother, you got spiny-looking head things. I ain't never seen that before.
I am Kulak of the Mequat clan.
Isn't that nice?
The brush strokes around the smokestack are somewhat unusual for Monet. They seem almost
Yeah,
individual,
that's
although
definitely
beautifully rendered.
someone trying to be Monet.
Okay, you know what? Is everything with you sexual?
No.
Yes!
Okay, so you've never thought about me?
You are at work. You're being a jerk. I think I've hit on something here. Jack at work seems to be somewhat different from Jack outside of work.
Oh,
And this manager dude
we're
is a
fine.
complete
Exactly where
dickhead.
we should be at the moment.
I mean, I hate him a lot more than I hate Jack at this point.
I've got 8 buyers on the block interested in that piece.
I mean, but if there's even a chance that's a real Monet, it'll be a massive deal to put it under auction, particularly in a relatively small place like San Francisco.
Phoebe, I'm fine. I'm just.
About to pass out because of the freaky South American citrus spines. Was this an episode where Holly Marie Coombs needed to take some time off? So just spending an episode in bed? I mean, I know she had some medical issues in Series 1. Oh, or is this a pregnancy episode? Did they need to cover up the fact she was pregnant? It's fun spotting that with female stars on TV shows. Like the ways they hid up Gillian Anderson on the X-Files. And that's the one that comes to mind. And I think Amanda Rigetti on The Mentalist is another one that comes to mind.
Piper Hallowell's been transferred to Dr. Williamson's care. If you have a seat in the waiting area, I'll page him.
What happened to Dr. Wallace?
I'm sure that Dr. Williamson will be able to answer all of your questions.
Okay, is that significant, or is that just a typical thing that happens in hospital? Did Dr. Williamson want the case for some reason? Is he a warlock? Oh, God, it's a kid in a wheelchair. Of course it is.
No, I'm not sick.
Then why do you look so sad?
He's going to die tragically by the end, isn't
I
he?
don't know what's wrong with her.
The doctors don't know what's wrong with me either.
Or he's going to have a
Maybe your
miraculous
sister and I have the
recovery,
same
one or
thing.
the other.
He's got powers. He can move things and freeze things, and he could kickbox too.
And the really cool thing about him is he could do all this to the demon,
To the bad guys inside your body without anyone even knowing about it.
Yeah, so is this kid actually affected by a demon? And I think he said his sister is also affected. So are they, demon food, or is it just medical? But either way, Phoebe, I can fix this. Well, because she can't fix Piper.
It
You been out of the country recently? Africa, South America, Caribbean?
No, but you were cutting up South American fruits earlier, weren't you?
Why?
Well, apparently you've contracted a blood disease rarely seen in the United States, Arroyo fever.
I think, I have a bite on my shoulder.
When did you get
Ooh,
this?
that's nasty.
After I opened the fruit.
She's gonna be okay, right? I mean, it's not life-threatening.
Well, I'll know better after I run more tests. Excuse me.
So this is just a medical thing, or it seems to be just a medical thing, and it's kind of an episode of House, I guess.
I'll be okay.
Don't think you will, because we're still really early in this episode. But yeah, I mean, I think this is an interesting thing because, yes, they're witches, but there's also, you know, regular stuff which they need to be concerned about as well.
Unfortunately, your sister's immune system isn't as strong as we thought it would be, and the antibiotics having no effect on the disease.
So what do you do now?
Well, there's nothing more we can do.
Wait, what do you mean by that? What are you saying?
Well, either Piper pulls out of the coma on her own, or I'm afraid your sister's not going to survive.
Okay, so this is something you can't fix with magic. Well, you're certainly not supposed to fix with magic.
It's gotta be a spell to vanquish a lousy bug.
Okay, but even if there is a spell, how do we get past the personal gain issue, the consequences?
What consequences? The power 3 remains unbroken? Innocents are saved? I don't really see a downside to that, do you?
Prue, if good witches could really
Yeah,
vanish
but
diseases,
that's
do you think
self-justification.
there's
That's
one
the
person in
first step
We
on a
have to save
slippery slope.
I
We've
agree.
been through this
All I'm
before.
saying is before we
Way
resort
back,
to the
what,
witch
episode
throws,
2, when they went to the future.
maybe we should call Leo.
No, she told us not to.
Yeah, I think we're beyond that point now.
We don't even know how to contact him. I mean, he's always just sort of been around.
Leo! 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 Leo!
Oh, worked. All right, Leo, look. Piper is very
sick, I know. I'm not even supposed to be here right now.
Leo, you can't just let Piper die.
Don't you think I would do something
Yeah, but
about
that's
it
the
if I could?
rules, isn't it?
But you love her.
I know. But I'm not her white lighter anymore.
When did that happen? But if he's not a white lighter anymore, why isn't he with Piper? Because that was the only thing keeping them together. But when did he stop being a white lighter? I don't remember that happening. Hello, editing Colin here. I don't often feel the need to do this, but here's a little addendum, because I've just made a big enough mistake that I think it needs clearing up immediately. So when Leo says, I'm no longer her white lighter, in reference to Piper, I misheard it at the time as I was recording it, him saying, I'm no longer a white lighter. So for the rest of the recording I did a couple of weeks ago, I will be under the misapprehension that for some reason Leo is no longer a white lighter, which is clearly false. So yes, I messed up. And since I'm recording this anyway, another smaller thing that I noticed while I was editing a little bit ago, when the annoyingly cute kid in the wheelchair said, maybe your sister has the same thing, I misheard it as maybe my sister has the same thing. So I was under the impression that cute wheelchair kid had a sister who was also sick, when he was actually talking about Piper. So yes, sometimes mistakes happen when the point of what you are doing is to talk over what you're watching. So yes, those are a couple of things I missed. But the major thing is, for the rest of the video I've already recorded, I'll be under the wrong impression that Leo is no longer a white lighter. So yes, I cocked up, I acknowledge it, and please don't flame me in the comments. Not that I get many comments, but on with the previously recorded material.
Hey!
Sleep eternal nevermore, and shift the source of the moon is born.
Open the door!
To this puppet, whom none shall mourn.
Prue, it's not working.
Oh, yeah, it did work, and maybe worked too well. That's... Oh, this is not going to end well. Okay, that's not right. So suddenly we've got a magical doll thing.
Piper.
So yes, demon puppet. Actually, demon puppet is one I should have put on my bingo card. Hey. And she's going to come down with the same disease that Piper just had.
I guess I should clean up.
Okay, that's unexpected and probably not a good thing.
What? We can't keep on fooling ourselves. This thing isn't real. I mean, I know that it looks perfect from the outside, and it makes sense to just ignore the truth and pretend that there's nothing wrong, but I can't do that.
Look, Prue, come on. I know we've had our difficulties, and maybe our
Is
relationship
she talking about the
isn't hoped
painting?
for, but
Jack, I'm talking about the painting. It's not real.
Yeah, you deliberately phrased it that way.
then what's the harm in letting it be?
Jack.
Prue, the world is made up of almost perfect. It's nothing but near misses and necessary compromises.
Yeah,
this
but
case,
that is
I
a
think
very, very different thing
bit of
when you're saying that's a Monet
what,
when
that's
it
okay.
isn't.
I
For
know how you feel.
somebody who works for an auction
I'm just
house,
asking you to not look
that's
so
a
close.
big deal. The people who write this show know nothing about how auctions work and auction houses work.
Just trust me. All right, go with it. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, a legitimate auction person who worked for an auction house would not do that. Would not go along with that.
Yes, I can confirm that an establishment by the name of P3 has been quarantined, but only as a precautionary measure.
Yeah, this is going to tank their business apart from anything else.
Hello? Remember us?
Did either of you sleep by any chance?
Sleep? Piper was bouncing off the walls last night.
It's gotta be a consequence of the awakening spell you guys cast. I have a bad feeling that's not the only consequence.
And little Nathan's going to end up dead.
I've got 6 people infected, and there's nothing I can do to save them unless I figure out how it is you survived. I'm gonna run a series of tests on all 3 of your blood work, even DNA sampling. I mean, maybe it's a genetic marker, I don't know. But I'm gonna find out, and you're not gonna leave until I do.
Is there a genetic marker for witchcraft? Even if there isn't, I probably don't want too close an investigation of their
6 people?
their
How
makeup.
is that possible? When we did this spell, we must have awakened everything in the room, including the disease. Look, Piper, we don't know the reversal spell anyway.
Yeah, and they won't let us out of here to go get it.
Prue can get it. No.
Oh
we
yeah,
can't.
because of their astral projection.
See, I cannot just astrally project on command. I can't control it like that.
You can learn to control it just like you learn to control your other power. Just concentrate.
Piper, I can't and I won't.
Prue, you have to try. We can't let anybody else die.
You see, this is a situation where noble sacrifice actually makes sense. Because, you know, they did something they knew was against the rules. And there are consequences. And now, in order to reverse the consequences, effectively Piper needs to die, or, high likelihood of her dying.
Must once again slumber deep, return the disease whence it came, so like an expectancy.
It's great how they had the time to illuminate these manuscript pages.
Where's the crash cart?
I mean, by the end of the episode she's going to be fine, but still, it's...
Piper Halliwell, what room?
There's an automatic...
Damn it, I'm family.
Are you, though? But... And there she goes. To the great beyond. At least temporarily. Oh, I wonder if she's going to see Patty. Maybe even Andy. Or Grams. Or anybody at all. Don't go towards the light!
Am I dead?
No, not yet. Not if you take my hands.
I don't understand.
It's the only way I can heal you. The only chance I have of them not finding out. Hurry.
She's in VPIP. Give me the back.
Oh, so he kind of intercepted her in transit.
On one.
Kind of cheating, and how is that going to fool the powers that be, or whatever we call them?
Wait.
EKG's responding.
There's a heartbeat.
Piper? What the hell? This is incredible.
Leo.
Yes, so that's not what we wanted to hear. But yeah, so many medical miracles in a very short space of time. If Leo's not a white lighter, how did he do that? Oh, at the end of, I think it was the P3H2O. He said, I can't be your white lighter anymore.
Come on, Prue, you can't be serious. You can't just quit.
I already did.
About bloody time!
Cockwell accepted it. It's not authentic, Jack.
You know what? Buyers think it is. And they've been thinking that way for over 100 years.
So it's worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of true.
No, it's wrong. Or at least in my book it is. And that's the way it used to be here before the takeover. Before everyone cared more about the sell than what they're selling.
I mean, that is about the onwards. I mean, there is actually a decent market for fakes by well-known forgers of major artists. I mean, there was a Dutch guy in the 50s and 60s. I mean, he's got apparently there are still pieces in major art galleries that he paints, but he won't tell which ones they are.
Everything in here was stolen, and they put me in charge of finding out who took it and who sold it to the Nazis. This was just found in Goering's hidden collection. It's a Vermeer.
I'm Captain Joseph Pillar of the Allied Provisional Government. During the war, what did you do?
Tried to survive, like everybody else.
Sold to Reichsmarschall Hermann Goering for more than 1.5 million guilders.
I need to know where this Vermeer came from.
Everyone likes Han. He's the life of the party.
But yeah, I mean, I the integrity of saying, it does matter that Monet didn't paint this particular painting. I mean, even from the school of Monet, it's still going to be worth quite a bit, but
and I realized that life is
not
way
millions
too
and
short
millions.
To be wasting my time doing something.
But yeah,
I
I mean,
really
she's
don't
been
want to
working
be
towards
doing.
this since at least the end of season 1, maybe even before the end of season 1.
You have been great. You've opened me up to so many new things. Made me feel wanted again.
But ultimately, you're a little bit of an asshole. I mean, I'm warmed to him a little bit. He's still too much of an asshole for me. But yeah, this is sort of like mid-season changing the course of everything. Because what does this mean for P3? I mean, I guess people are still going.
These haven't been inspected yet. Put them in the back. We're returning them to the supplier.
Still, the club's doing okay. Doesn't look like quarantine business very much.
Yeah, thanks to no cover charge and free drinks.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys seen Dan around? No.
So financial gamble.
No reason, I guess. I thought he might stop by.
You know,
Yeah, I
Pepper,
don't
Dan
think he
heard you
is.
call Leo's name when you were coming around in the hospital.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different variation on calling out somebody else's name in bed, I guess. Oh, that's everything but the girl, I think.
Tell him thanks for us too.
But it's certainly Tracy Thorne.
Hey.
But it sounds like
Hey.
Tracy Thorne.
How you feeling?
Okay. Did you get in trouble?
Yeah, actually, a lot. They found out what I did.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't.
What?
It's not
They-
permanent. It's more like a suspension, I hope.
Leo, I don't know what to say.
But is it though? Because this is an easy guess around, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, it seemed like what he did just before she was about to go to the great beyond. I mean, he really didn't try very hard to hide what he was doing.
I know.
Yeah, not for
You
much
know
longer
that now
though.
that I'm immortal, I'm gonna fight for you. Maybe the best man win.
Yeah, well, you all know who the best man is, let's face it. Right. So. We are now officially into the second half of season 2, and there are changes, there are shifts. We have Prue finally leaving Bucklands, which he's been working up to for quite some time. It looks like that's the end of the relationship between Prue and Jack. I mean, because, yes, I was warming to Jack over the last couple of episodes, but yes, he is an asshole, and his reaction to the not quite a Monet, which, by the way, a Monet of that size, it would be such a big deal if it was going for auction in a place like San Francisco. I mean, it should be London, Paris, New York, not San Francisco, if a Monet of that size and quality, if it was genuine. But anyway, the fact that Jack was willing to go along with, hey, it's a Monet, that kind of shows his character, which is not the character which we need or we would like for Prue. So yeah, I think that might be the last we see of Jack. But it looks like we've got a full-on love triangle now between Piper, Leo, and Dan. And we all know who's going to win. Particularly when Dan heard her say Leo as she was coming round. But, yeah, and this sort of suspension of having Leo's wings clipped is sort of like a try before you buy, maybe, kind of thing. Find out what it's like to be a mortal again. I mean, 'cause I think they said it was in the First World War, I think. But certainly he was a soldier and he's been alive for hundreds of years, or at least I can't remember. But he's been around for a long time. Oh, and he was a doctor, wasn't he? I think he was, or a medic, an army medic. But yeah, I mean, being immortal again, having that experience, and can I live like this permanently? I think that's potentially where we're going with that. And I mean, at this point, it would be really, really handy if a very nice, very attractive woman came along and said, "Hey, neighbour Dan, you fancy coming along with me? I mean, because I don't want Dan to be unhappy, but I just don't want him to be with Piper because he's not the right guy for her. Leo is. Yeah, Phoebe becoming a college student, that's another thing which we're gonna change going into the second half of season 2. I mean, it never occurred to me, but that actually makes a lot of sense. Because she always did seem like the most inquisitive, the most enthusiastic about learning. I mean, and like I said, it's Phoebe who's usually the one who reads the Book of Shadows. So some kind of maybe history thing or folklore, mythology. I'm sure you can do courses in that. And wouldn't it be nice if there was a handsome folklore professor or something of the type, or even a folklore student? I mean, because she is a little, I think she's supposed to be about, 25, 26, I would think? Actually, I don't know what age she is supposed to be, but mid-20s I think she's supposed to be. Which is, yes, a mature student, but not so mature, so... Yeah, I think she's in the sweet spot where it wouldn't be creepy if she dated a teenage student, and it wouldn't be creepy if she dated a professor. Be a little bit creepy on the professor's point of view, but not on hers. So, yes, there's plenty of options in a college classroom for Phoebe. And, I mean, that's really what I want for Phoebe. I just want her to have a proper long-term boyfriend. Because everybody else gets one. And I suppose Prue's technically single, or she seems to be single. So, what's that going to be for the second half of season 2? And yeah, I mean, having this episode, I mean, the idea that there are many dangers out there, and not all of them are magic related, not all of them are warlock related. I mean, you can just be bitten by an insect and have this potentially fatal disease. Is that disease real? Huh, okay. Yes, it is a real disease. It is... Its technical name is Bartonellosis, and you do get it from being bitten by a female sand flea. And that kiwano fruit, which is also known as the horned melon, is actually grown in California, so there was no need to import it from South America. And it's not citrus, or it doesn't seem to be. It certainly looked like it was citrus, but anyway, it was a real thing, apparently. And yeah, that was the fascinating thing. It was kind of like an episode of House. It is a medical mystery, and the fact that obviously this doctor of infectious diseases wouldn't pick out at all the fact that the people who got sick were being stabbed by a tiny ninja doll. I'm so mad I didn't put demon doll on my trope bingo card. That was such an obvious one. I should have picked that one out. Damn it. But anyway, we live and learn. That's 2 episodes in a row where there's tropes I maybe should have put on the bingo card, but I picked what I picked. So, yeah, lots of changes. I think this seems to be specifically designed to pivot and change what the second half of season 2 is going to be, with Phoebe at college, Prue no longer at Buckland's and seemingly broken up with Jack, which is a good thing as far as I'm concerned, and Leo having his wings clipped, apparently temporarily. Who knows how long that's going to last, but actively trying to get with Piper and have the... I mean, I think this is, for the first time, an actual legitimate triangle between Piper, Dan, and Leo. So, yeah, changes and pivots for the second half of season 2, which is no bad thing. And I mean, now we're getting to the stuff which I thought we were going to set up at the beginning of season 2, because at the end of season 1, I mean, we had the whole thing about Piper leaving Quake, and eventually she's gone on to have P3. We had Phoebe saying she desperately wanted a new job, and now we've got her as a college student, which is different, but the same path. And Prue, it looked like she was getting tired of Bucklands even at the end of season 1. So, yeah, what's she going to do next? With the skills she has, and the powers she now has, and the time she needs to do that, because she was taking a lot of personal time at Buckland. So with all that, what's she going to do? It'd be interesting to see. I mean, fascinating stuff. Yeah, I did like that episode. I mean, having an episode which wasn't all about magic and witchcraft. I mean, she just got sick. I mean, yes, they tried to deal with it in a magical way, but she just got sick in a legitimate disease. I mean, something that might actually have happened in real life to an average person. So, yeah, I mean, having the focus on something else, I mean, because it's a dangerous place, particularly for women, particularly in the 2000s. I mean, or the year 2000 when this was broadcast. It interesting, and now I'm really, really fascinated to see what happens in the rest of season 2, but that is for another day, because this is the third video I've recorded tonight. It's coming up to 2 o'clock in the morning, so I better wrap things up, particularly since I can't fit any more footage on my camera. So let's just wrap it up here by saying this has been a presentation of the Yay, Nay or Meh channel, and I'll see you next time where I shine a light on TV and cinema, both obvious and obscure.